Hi guys, in this video we are going to see service packages. This is one of the basic as well as the important topic in service or operation management. Let's get into the topic. First we will see what is meant by services, then we will see about the service package. So we all know that what is meant by services. It is entirely opposite to the goods, right? So since good is a tangible and services are intangible in nature, right? So it means the series of activities in which a customer interacts with employees or service provider to produce some intangible experience as an outcome. For example, if you go meet a doctor for consulting your problem, so in that case, what they're going to do in return, they are going to provide some medical services to you, right? Or otherwise, if you go and order any food in the restaurant, so that will be considered as a services. So there they can provide you the goods as well as the service, right? So that is what we are going to see as a service packages today. So it is a combination of tangible goods as well as intangible experience. So before getting to that, we need to see certain characteristics of services. The first one is it's intangible. I already told, no, intangible in nature. It means we cannot touch, right? Touch and feel. So only we can assess through our experience, right? The next one is a variable. It's not a defined one. So we cannot define the services, because if you go and get a service in various restaurant, not all the restaurants are providing the same type of services, so it doesn't have any fixed one, so it always varies from place to place. And third one is there is no ownership at all, right? So like in goods, so we hold the ownership of the particular product. Suppose if you go and purchase a mobile, that mobile is owned by you and you have that ownership. And in case, suppose if you go on any services, like for example, if you go and watch a movie, you cannot hold the ownership for that movie, right? We can go and experience that movie, right? Then fourth one is no storage is possible. We cannot store the services, so we have to experience it then and there, right? Then the fifth one, production and consumption takes place simultaneously, right? In the previous cases I have mentioned about watching a film, right? So in that case, where the production as well as consumption takes place in the same place, right? In the cinema theater only we can watch the movies, right? So the service provider as well as consumer have to be present at the same location. The last one is high involvement of customer, many times act as producer also. See, in case of medical reason, we have to express our problems to the doctor, right? Then only can give the app service. So in that case, we stimulate them, right? Or we induce them to provide the good service, right? So these are the basic characteristics of services. Then we move on to the definitions of packages. Like I already told, it is a combination. It is a combination of goods and service, right? So in order to provide the service, what are the components we need, or what are the additional things we can add to provide the services smoothly? That is what we are going to see, right? I am dividing these services into two parts. So first one is core services and next one is peripheral services, right? So first we will see what are the core services that involved in service packages, right? First one is supporting facility. So like you see in the picture, so what you are seeing in the picture, so we are seeing difference between two different areas. One is government hospital, another one is a private hospital. And look at the machines and equipment they have in the private hospital and the facilities that are providing in the government hospital. So the supporting facilities is all about the physical resources where services are offered. So like infrastructure, right? Or it can be any latest devices or technology using in the particular services, right? In this picture, see, both the type of organization providing the same services. They are going to treat the people. The service here is to treat the people well and good, right? But still, there are a lot of difference between these two pictures, right? So it's that what is the main difference is here is the physical resources, how they are treating the customers. A customer here is patient. So Other examples of supporting facilities are like a branch network. Suppose if you are having if you are having account in any bank, that bank doesn't operate in a single location. It having more and more number of branches in a particular city itself. Why they are having more number of branches? So in order to facilitate the service in better manner, right? So next example is the kiosk. We all know that what is meant by kiosk. So it is an automatic vending machine, right? In the case of banking, we have ATM machines, right? So ATM machine is one of the example of kiosk, right? So without visiting the bank itself, we can draw the money from ATM. So this is one of the example of supporting facility. Then the next one is facilitating goods, right? Here it talks about the materials or item purchased or consumed by the buyer as well as provided by the customer. So we can take that into two categories, right? So the provider, suppose the service provider, what are the things they are giving to the customer in order to facilitate the service even better, right? So some of the examples I have given here. First one is ATM cards. So ATM card. So like we mentioned in the earlier case, so there we talk about the ATM machines. Here we talk about the ATM card. So that is the supplementary materials which are providing to the customer to make the service better, right? So this is a 24/7 service. You can withdraw the money whenever you want, right? So like checkbook also, no need to carry our passbook. So by applying the checkbook, we can give the money or we can quote the money to someone, right? So next one is providing newspaper or magazine in waiting areas. We all might have visited barbershop or salon, right? So in that, in order to avoid this waiting time, they have provided certain materials like newspaper or magazine to pass on the time, right? So again, the fourth example is food in airplane. So that is one of the facilitating goods. The third one is information, right? So any data or information provided by the customer to enable efficient and customized service. So the information can pass on both the sides. So it can pass on from customer to service provider and also by service provider to customer. So we are going to see the example which is quoting in both the cases. The first one is providing past medical history to the doctors, right? So whenever you are going to visit a doctor, they will ask you the first question, what happened to you, right? So what bothering you? So then only we will explain, so what is the problem we are facing in our health, right? So it clearly depicts the what problem we have occurred, right? So this is called the information travel from the customer to the service provider. So then next case is two-wheeler or four-wheeler services. Suppose when you are going to deliver your two-wheeler or four-wheeler to the service provider, so you will tell them, so what are the problems you are facing nowadays while driving these two-wheeler as well as four-wheeler. So they will make it a come or they will note it down. So they will rectify all the problems which you have mentioned in this short sheet, right? So next one is third one, providing information to book movie ticket. So before booking the ticket, see, we will ensure all the details will be filled by the service provider. Third one is providing information to book movie ticket. So we all know before booking the movie ticket, we have to mention, so how many people you want to book. So how many tickets you want to book, and we have to select which place you want to sit, right? So we have to give the details. So right. So fourth one is providing fee structure, and if you see, this will be given by the service provider to the consumer, right? So whenever you are going to visit school or colleges to make an admission, so they will provide you the fee structure which contain all the details regarding the course, right? Okay, the next one is explicit services. So these are the services readily observed by the senses and that consist of essential or intrinsic features of the services. Say for example, if you have undergone any surgery, you can feel that removal of pain from your body, right? It can be only feel, right? Then the next one, if you go and taste any meal in the restaurant, so that can be only experienced by tasting the particular food, right? The third one is the attitude of the behavior. So this is also done only by the observation. The last one, on time departure of airline. Suppose if the airline is on time, then we will satisfactory. Suppose if there is any delay in the services, then obviously we will feel some lackness in the services, right? So these are the various examples of explicit services. The last one is implicit services. So unlike the previous one, it cannot be done by the experience, right? Or it cannot be sensed by the organ, right? So this is the psychological benefits. So that can be sensed vaguely, right? Or the extrinsic features of the services. Example, status of IIT degree. Suppose if you hold the degree, right? If you hold the degree that have some status, right, that can be not immediately sensed by you, right? So that degree holds some value, and if you hold the degree, that will open so many doors for a career. So that's why I have mentioned this in the picture, right? Then the next case, the security of CCTV in loan houses. So if you keep the CCTV camera, you can avoid the services 24/7, right? So that cannot be sensed immediately. So that is for long time purposes. So if anything happens suspiciously, then we can inhibit the purpose of the particular service, right? So these are called implicit service. Thank you guys. See you all in the next video.